Just this advice projects high value. Just this advice makes you look like someone who has self-worth, who believes in themselves, who has self-esteem, who's worthy of being chased. Anytime you're sensing any coldness, any mixed signals from people, leave them alone. Leaving them alone will reveal to you how they feel. But whenever you don't leave them alone, the thing what's going on is that deep down, you know this person might not like you. But the reason why you don't leave them alone is because a part of you resents that they're not being direct with you. But then a part of you hopes that they actually want you back. So this conflicting emotion causes you to become more aggressive, causes you to chase more, and it creates deeper thoughts of insecurity inside of you. Because whenever you chase without certainty, whenever you chase without knowing whether or not it's going to be reciprocated, continually doing this creates a certain level of resentment for them, a certain level of low self-esteem for yourself. And even if you get them, a part of you will want to get even. The rule should be very simple. Only pursue those who are making it obvious that they want you back. Only pursue those who give the same energy that you're giving. Only pursue those who remove doubt whether or not they want you. It has always been consistently throughout dating and in your life and in my life that every relationship that worked out long term had an air of certainty from the beginning. You knew they liked you. You knew they wanted you. They were obvious. They were like a freaking tiger in the middle of New York City. You stand out. But whenever you end up in relationships where you leave dissatisfied, or it never works out, or it kind of went halfway but never fully the way, and you end up feeling a little bitter, resentful, hurt with the battle scars that you had to take, those relationships almost never works out. Sometimes it does, but come on, let's keep it real, man. Let's keep it real. The problem is that whenever you get those half-hearted people that makes you chase, but you chasing with uncertainty, those people are always leave clues about how they feel. They always leave clues, and they always present themselves as with an air of mixed messages consistently. It's always mixed messages, man. Like you guys cannot fall for the illusion of hope that your ego gives you, that your low self-esteem gives you. We're not here to hope, man. We're here to see. If you're not making it obvious that you want me, I'm not gonna taste. It's just how that works. Like you'll have, for example, me as a guy, you'll have a girl who will add you, who will be friendly with you, who seem really interested. This truly happens. But then when you ask them out, they don't respond to the message, right? So it's kind of like this happens in many ways, in many different forms, not just the way that I'm describing to you. And the sensation that people feel is a certain bitterness and resentment, because it's kind of like, why can't you just be straight out? And what you notice is that if you continue trying to make that work, you get more angry, you get more bitter, and your self-esteem lowers every time you try. Yeah, they may be beautiful, they may have something to offer, they may be this, they may be that. But, dude, we only have a certain amount of energy, a certain amount of levels of self-esteem. Wasting it on pursuing people who don't go out of their way to let you know that they want you to, where it's not just you making these goddamn confessions. Going after those who only make it obvious, they say, hey, I like you, will make your life so much easier. Yes, there'll be situations where you want to go after this person, but what you'll notice is that people make themselves obvious, man. That's all I'm trying to tell you guys. People make themselves obvious. But when you don't match that energy, you look desperate. You look pathetic. People will talk about you. Word gets around that you don't know how to take a hint. In my experience, man, I still make that mistake. Don't get me wrong, right? I still make that mistake. Like, I fall. I don't fall for it as much as before, but I still kind of make that mistake because you know what happens is that, especially if the girl is like exceptionally beautiful, my brain will say it's worth the risk. It's worth the self-esteem hit. It's true, right? But man, like sometimes it does work. But I'm gonna be honest with you. The hits you take to your self-esteem to get to the point where it works every once in a while, it's not worth it. It's just, for example, it's like guys who do game, right? You know, guys who go to bars and meet women, and they only specialize in meeting women. When I was younger, I took that route. To be honest with you, personally, I think back at it, I can't take that back because it made me who I am today, and it really did give me a lot of knowledge of human nature that I would have never have learned anywhere, and it's the basis of the channel. To be honest with you. But one of the things that you end up doing a lot that it's really not good for you is that you end up chasing people who don't like you but don't tell you. And so it'll take you a few self-esteem hits to figure out that this person doesn't want you back. And this happens over dozens and dozens of time in a short amount of time, right? Because you're meeting a lot of people. And don't get me wrong, you are meeting people who like you back. That is true, right? Like I've met a lot of great women that way. But to get to that girl that likes you, you got to go through a labyrinth of bullshit, rejection, and passive aggression. And this leaves scars. You get rejected so often, and you deal with half-hearted people so often, that you begin to project that on yourself. And you begin to believe that maybe you're not as attractive as you think you are. Maybe you're not as worthy of this person. You start to feel more like an outsider because you're consistently knocking on the door trying to be let in, when in reality, only look for doors that are open. Only look for people who are giving you that welcoming vibe. If they're giving you any air of uncertainty, you can sense it because it makes you feel insecure. So it's almost like gravitate towards feelings. Gravitate towards people who make you feel secure, and don't gravitate towards people who make you feel insecure. Don't gravitate towards people who make you wonder, okay, are they really gonna go out? Do they really want me? Like, how long does it take for them to respond? It take 10 hours. What the fuck? Do they really? No. Go for those who respond on time. Go for those who make it obvious. Well, go for those who you can put money on the fact that they want you back too. Because those will always lead to happier interactions. But when you're trying to climb a mountain, trying to be Bob the Builder, Bob the Restorer, trying to fix everyone, trying to convince someone, Googling how to convince someone to like you and trying it, you can only do so much, man. To the point where you end up being bitter and hurt and resentful towards the opposite sex. You can only do too much. If the person is not making it obvious, like for example, like people who want a relationship with someone and it's been months, 5 months, 6 months. And it's like, look, man, I get they like you and I get they give you signs they like you, but you're not following the rule. Only pursue those who are making it obvious they like you. If there's any doubt, any sense of like hesitation, any like ambiguous signal, you don't go after them. You wanna know why? Because when somebody likes you, it's like I said, it's crack, motherfucker. It's crack. A crackhead is predictable. You know a crackhead's value. You know what they're gonna do. You know who they're gonna respond to and who they're not gonna respond to. You know what they're gonna be doing tomorrow. You know what they're gonna be doing this morning. They are predictable because they are addicted. It's the same thing with you. When somebody wants you and is addicted to you, they have a set pattern of behavior that doesn't deviate because the emotions are so strong, the compulsions are so strong to get closer to you that there's no space for them to apply any of these strategies because the compulsion is too strong to facilitate any sense of self-control. This has made my life easier, to be honest with you. I don't follow it 100%. I'm being honest. I don't follow it 100%. I follow it like 85% of the time, 90% of the time. You know, I may get played 10% of the time, and that's fine. I have meditation. I meditate. Whenever I get hurt, whenever I feel down, whenever I feel like somebody hurt my ego or I see something and I feel jealous, now I just gravitate towards meditation. I just sit down, do the meditations that I talk about in my course, Emotional Mastery. And through the process that I teach in that course, which I do teach you guys here too, through that process, every time I feel down, I gravitate towards meditation. I'm telling you, the pain that I feel, it's almost like it doesn't go away, but it's almost like you're giving it a relaxing massage, and the pain just feels light. The pain doesn't have any bitterness. There is pain, there is rejection, but there is no fuck that bitch, that stupid bitch. She tried to betray me. She tried to play me. I'm massaging it, and I'm relaxing that pain so that it's there without a narrative. It's there without making somebody look like the evil person. It's there without making me feel like the victim. It's only there like seeing clouds in the sky. It's just there. You don't react to it. If you guys do this, this is an indication of high self-esteem, because you'll notice if your self-esteem is low, if your self-opinion is low, anytime somebody triggers this feeling of low self-worth by making you chase and over pursue, because again, you'll notice when you chase, you feel down. Like you're chasing because you feel insecure. So for me, only go for those people who don't make you feel insecure. So that means you got to learn how to stop that compulsive habit of feeling insecure and chasing. You got to break that pattern. And that's why when you feel that, practice meditation. Give yourself at least 10 minutes of meditation. Even if you do start acting creepy and needy, give yourself at least 10 minutes of meditation so that you could start breaking the pattern. Rather than acting and rather than feeling the emotion of neediness and desperateness and then acting on it, now you're feeling the emotion, meditating for 5 or 10 minutes, and then acting on it. When you act on it, you don't act in full throttle like before. There's actually, you slow down that momentum. And the more you interrupt this pattern by feeling, meditating, and then acting in your creepy way, over time, the compulsion to act goes away. And all you're left with is a sense of peace, which is your true self-esteem. So for me, if I don't sense any enthusiasm in how you're texting me, if you're not following through on meeting up with me, if you're not initiating contact from time to time, if when you're with me, there's no sense of excitement, even if you're shy, you can sense that they're excited. You know what I'm saying? If they're not receptive to being in a relationship, is if over the weeks you don't sense that there's an increased enthusiasm to see you, or rather there's a decreased enthusiasm to see you. But the most important thing is the feeling they give you. If you feel confused, insecure, if you sense that you cannot really predict them, that's not a good sign. Now, if you're highly insecure, then this might be, you don't know what's what, right? It could be your mind or it could be the reality. But consistently, any feeling of confusion or like what's going on or like this makes no sense, don't try to be a fucking mathematician. Don't try to make sense out of it. Don't try to make sense out of people who are being passive aggressive, who are hot and cold. Don't try to make sense out of those people. Trying to make sense out of them is how you end up falling, how you end up chasing people who don't want you back. Fuck that. Don't try to make sense. This is not a puzzle, okay? Only go for those who, when you think about, you know they like you. When you know what they're gonna do tomorrow. You know how they're gonna react to you. You know that if you text them multiple times, it's not a problem. You're not walking on eggshells. You're not afraid you're not interpreting every little thing that they say to you. You're not focusing on little details. Hey, they looked at me and winked weird. What does that mean? I'm like, bitch, he just winked, okay? Like, he needed lubricant in his eye, motherfucker. Like, all of that type of stuff. Hyperfixation on the little things. He looked at me, she looked at me weird and she smiled, but then she pulled away. What does that mean? If you're asking questions about the simplest thing, if you're hesitating about which text to send, it's this, you're noticing something unconsciously that is making you be extra careful. Fuck being extra careful. If you feel like you have to be extra careful, watch your word, send the right text. Oh my God, I said hi, not hola. Are they losing interest, motherfucker? Who gives a fuck? All right, we don't make it complicated. Just go for those who make you feel secure, who remove any doubt in your mind. And over time, your self-esteem will go up because you're not dealing with half-hearted lovers. All right? Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Just don't chase people who don't chase you back. All right? And if you do that, don't tell people you watch my channel. All right? Anyways, take care. All right, guys, we're going to have a brief intermission so that I can tell you guys about our new bundle that we're doing where you guys can purchase all of my courses
and get it at a discount. So this bundle is pretty much the bundle where you could just buy all of my courses. You could buy Nice Guy, which is a training course on how to come across more assertive, how to come across more confident, how to not give off nice guy vibes. You guys can get access to Dark Game, which is my full dating course on how to meet women in different scenarios, how to attract women, how to make sure you don't come across as creepy, and essentially how to act like a man and not act like a doofus, to be quite honest with you. And you get all of these bonuses, which is the bonuses of Dark Game, the bonuses of Practical Mastery, which is about how to master a skill, Social Mastery, which is how to master your social life, and the Laws of Human Nature, which is a book club video that I had dissecting Robert Greene's book. All of this is naturally at around naturally is at $346, but you guys can purchase this bundle and get it at what's the price again? Get it at 238 pretty much. So you guys can purchase it right now. It's a money back 30-day money back guarantee. It's a good way to, rather than just buying them individually and paying extra, you guys can just purchase everything at a discount price. Now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that I'm giving you a lot of information at the same time. That makes me kind of scared, because a lot of times people don't do the things that I teach when you get too much information. But I've gotten too many requests to do this, so I'm just satisfying you guys. Purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle. All right, let's continue with the video.